Hey everybody, welcome to a very special episode of Northernlion's Challenge Runs in the Binding of Isaac. Today's run, a variation on the theme of our Alphabet Soup run, which we've run a couple of times, which is basically at the end of every floor in Alphabet Soup. Like, you take your first item, and let's say your first item is Ghost Baby, which starts with a G. Then on the next floor, you can take whatever item you want that starts with an H, and so on and so forth. Only one item. But this allows you to tailor your run, but also has a little bit of randomness and unpredictability. We're doing a similar run today. Again, Opera Ghosting Kitty suggested this one. This is called Days of the Week, and basically, whatever day we are playing this on, we have to... Oh, careful. Whatever day... God, this guy is getting way too close for comfort, man. Okay, you know what? I'll see you later. There was a key in here that I want. We can make it, we can make it. Okay, that was kind of close. Whatever day we start playing this on, and I will say that today is Friday... then that is the letter of the first item that we can take, and then from then on it'll go, you know, so F, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, etc., etc. We're not gonna get that far, but we're gonna fight our boss, and then at the end of every floor we're gonna use the cheat engine to give ourselves an item of our choice with the relevant number. So I'm not sure how this is gonna work out for us. I'm not even sure what items have F but Forget Me Now, so what I might do is just pop a Forget Me Now on the first floor, but it's interesting because this would give us like one more letter over the course of the entire game. However, what it would not do is actually give us any benefit, because we don't actually gain anything from doing an extra floor except for, I guess, more bombs, keys, and potentially money. But we can't use that money anyway, and we can't go to item rooms, so it's a confusing situation. I'm hoping there's another F, but I can't remember in any case. Metroid Other F coming this fall to the 3DS eShop. Seriously, when are they gonna make another 2D side-scrolling Super Metroid-style Metroid, a la the, you know, Super Metroid, of course, but also the Game Boy Advance games? Those games were hot as shit! Metroid in general is just an underutilized franchise. But what do I know? I'm not a businessman, I'm a businessman. Let's open up Cheat Engine here and see what we have in F. So, add item when entering next room. There's several, actually. There's Fate, Forget Me Now, and Forever Alone. We're definitely gonna take Fate, which I think might give us the ability to fly as well as an Eternal Heart, but it's been a while. This item doesn't show up all that often. Let's skip through and see what we get here. We do. We get the ability to fly and an Eternal Heart. You know what? That is a totally solid item. So let's continue onwards. Now the... Oh god, what happened? Well, there goes our Eternal Heart. I think I forgot to click that in Cheat Engine. Yes, I did. Okay. The caveat for these runs, the thing I always mess up and end up screwing myself over on, is the fact that you need health at some point. Wait, we started on F, so what do we not get? E. We could get Guppy's Paw, which would make an interesting spacebar item, but anyway, I digress here. I never give myself enough health. I always give myself, like, the glamorous items. We might as well use 1 cent here, see if we get something decent. I always give myself the glamorous items, you know, the mom's knives. I never give myself the meats of the world, which is unfortunate, because meats of the world sounds like a sweet-ass, like, catalog-style mail order subscription-based service that I would be totally down for going to. Let's try not to die against the champion version of the Widow here. That'd be pretty embarrassing considering I got some extra health. Actually, I didn't get any extra health, but considering I got the ability to fly on the last floor. There's an awful lot of spiders here. I'm just gonna put down a bomb in the hopes that that's gonna speed things up a little bit. I may actually fucking die against what I would consider one of the easier bosses of the game. It's not that this is easy. Oh my god, just don't get caught by the spiders. Holy crap, that was close. It's not that that boss is necessarily easy. He actually had a lot of HP, but, you know, things just did not go my way there. Oh, we're almost done with this item, or this boss room, which was a goddamn disaster. Let's see what we've got under the G's now. E, F, G. Add item when entering next room. And with a note in my head to constantly remember health as well. So we've got Guppy's Head, Guppy's Hairball, Guppy's Paw, Guppy's Tail, Growth Hormones, Guardian Angel, Ghost Baby. I'm gonna go with Growth Hormones to give us a little bit of extra damage. There was nothing there that really gave us extra health. Now, at some point I am gonna want to take a good spacebar item. I'm not sure which one I'm gonna take, though. We'll just leave it for now. We're gonna be getting an H on this floor. I'm trying to think. Habit might be a good one to kind of make sure that we're strong in the future with whatever spacebar item we get. But it might be called the Habit, in which case I wouldn't be able to pick it up. Hopefully there are H's. Otherwise, we'll be moving on to I's. There's a couple of letters that have no items in I's, if I remember correctly. I'm pretty sure there's no J's, and I'm pretty sure there's no... maybe Y's? I can't remember, though. We will definitely take Isaac's Fork. I actually need that life steal kind of desperately. Obviously, we're hoping to kind of get to M so we can pick up a Mom's Knife. That, like, LMNOP corridor is really good, because you can get, you know, Polyphemus, Mom's Knife, lots of really good items. Maybe the Nail? Maybe not, though. And, of course, if you get to the T's, you have your choice of basically 20 of the best items in the game. But we're not going to nearly get close enough to get down there. We will take an item on the Womb. We are going to take 2 items on this floor because we're dealing with an XL floor. Otherwise, that would be kind of an unfair disadvantage. Then people are always on these runs. People enjoy them, which I enjoy because I enjoy doing these runs. It's like a choose your own adventure kind of style of run. But there's always people who are like, it's not fair, it's not balanced because you get to pick whatever item you want, and that's true. But the balancing agent here is that you only get 1 item per floor, as opposed to possibly getting as many as 3. By way of the, you know, shop, boss room, item room, or maybe even 4. Shop, boss room, item room, deal with the devil. Whereas in this run, you can only get 1 every single floor. Now, it's probably still a little bit overpowered, but anyway. It would be unbelievably overpowered if we let ourselves take 1 item of our choice at the end of every room. Or sorry, at the end of every room, yes, that would be insanely overpowered, but at the end of every floor. But to make it so you take 1 item that kind of just fits into some, like, alphabetical parameters, I think, again, acts as a balancing agent as well. I'm not saying it's 100% fair. Seriously, just help me out here. What I am saying is that it's not as unfair as it might seem at first glance. Obviously, try to find our boss room as soon as possible here. The ability to fly is going to help me out. I really wish I'd been able to hold on to that Eternal Heart, but, you know, just being able to survive on that last floor was a privilege that I kind of didn't expect us to have, given that we almost died really nastily against the Widow. But we're making good progress here. This may indeed be our boss room. It may just be another dead end. XL floors, you know, we have the opportunity to pick up 2 items. And what we'll do is we'll probably just fight vanilla for both of the boss fights. And by vanilla, I mean with our current items. And then we'll give ourselves 2 items when we go down to the next floor. Maybe? I don't know. We'll figure out a way to make it work. It is the caves, XL. If it was the catacombs, I might be slightly more concerned about how this is going to work. But in any case, these guys are all getting smashed in the face by my sweet growth hormones and blue baby style flying. Isaac's Fork actually procced there in case you missed it. God damn it, I hate this room. People always ask me, Northernlion, what would you change in the Binding of Isaac Rebirth? I would, you know, take whatever page of the design document, if it exists, that has these guys on it. I would light it on fire, I would throw it in the trash can, and then I would shit on it while it's on fire. Largely, that's some kind of animal instinct, I think. People say the best revenge is living well. Or I guess in this case, the best revenge would probably be just killing those dudes without taking damage. But for me, you know, pretty good revenge is also setting something on fire and then taking a poop on it in the trash can. That, to me, seems to be perhaps not as dignified as living well, but at the same time, makes for better drama. Let us now go after these bomb flies. I'm just going to try to stay the F away. And provided I can hit them from afar, we should be totally okay. I hate this room when you don't have Ouija board. By the way, we are not going to get to O, so Ouija board is definitely off the table. We're also not going to get to B, so Bloody Lust is not going to come to B. Obviously, we're not going to get to B because that was right behind us. I don't know, man. We got HI on this floor. I can't even think of any I items. So we might just go HIJ, but then there's no J items either. Then we go straight to K, and there's like Kamikaze. Which, if I remember correctly, you know, oftentimes these runs end up being in that, like, JK region. I believe Kamikaze is the only K item, in which case we're due for some fairly rough times on the floors ahead, I would guess. So far, so good on this floor. Haven't really taken a lot of damage, if any, but I do wish that we could just kind of get to the end of it and start fighting these bosses, because that's why I'm keeping all of these red hearts available, so that I have a chance to potentially use them a little bit later. Because you never know if we might run into, you know, a very difficult first boss that chooses not to drop any items, or sorry, any consumable health items for us. But we continue making our way in the world today. A little bit more money. The only way we can make good use of this money is if Judgment shows up, because shops are definitely going to be off the table. Thankfully, we have come across a tinted rock, and of course, if we get the a small rock, I would love to pick that up. That is not against the rules of engagement here, I would say, but mostly I just want the tinted or spirit hearts. 1 bomb for a single spirit heart is a fair trade, in my opinion. Now, we do need to stack up damage a little bit more. It's unfortunate because, you know, G had a lot of items, but I think growth hormone was really the best. I don't want the left hand, actually. There were probably, you could make a case maybe for Guppy's Paw, and then for the rest of the game, just kind of take as many health upgrades as you can and then turn them into Spirit Hearts via Guppy's Paw. But I think Growth Hormones is going to be a little bit better in the long run. The ability to do extra damage to enemies is obviously valuable. At some point, these guys are going to die. I promise you this. There we go. One of them has gone down. As soon as one of them goes, then it becomes easy to get the rest of them. It's just kind of a long and drawn-out procedure here. But on the bright side, it's also a long and drawn-out procedure that causes us to not take damage, which is a little bit important, I would say. So, I'm hoping we're up to the boss room here. I do indeed see one. Our golden chest contains a single red heart and 2 troll bombs, which probably isn't going to pay for itself, but that's okay. We do have a Tinted Rock in here. If I could just get the bomb and... yeah, Fistula with the bomb and the Tinted Rock at the same time was an ideal circumstance there. Now, we are going to get that Spirit Heart, but our number one priority is just not losing any of our existing Spirit Heart, which is why I am constantly kind of backtracking to put myself over top of this rock over here, where, provided a reasonable amount of enemies are away, I can be safe under the assumption that I'm not going to take any damage. So again, the more of these guys we take out, the faster this is eventually going to go. Only got 4 tiny Fistulas left, so we're in like standard caves room territory now. Just play it cool. Some of these rocks are causing some weird bounces that I'm not too fond of, but with only 2 of these guys left, we should be totally A-O-fucking-K. Alright, good room. Jesus Juice, I guess there's our J right there, so obviously I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Let's move on to the next room, and then we'll start taking 2 items. Obviously, I'm glad it's a vanilla run now, because Little Chad is kind of a piece of garbage in my opinion. Which, I'll probably end up eating my words on that one. We are going to use some bombs to destroy Chad here. Simply because it's going to be easier than doing it the old-fashioned way. In fact, using bombs might actually be the old-fashioned way. Nice green bomb there, by the way. Probably the fastest I've ever taken out Little Chad. I can't do anything in the deal with the devil, so we might as well not go for it. So let's open up Cheat Engine here. We just picked up Growth Hormones, so we have HI. Do we have any H's? That is a good question. We do. Halo of Flies, Harlequin Baby, Habit, and Holy Water. Halo of Flies seems really interesting. Let me think about oh, you know what? I might want to take Ipac under I. Inner Eye is also triple shot, right? I'm going to go Ipac, which is going to be our I, and then let me think about our H. So that's going to solve all of our damage woes, and the ability to fly makes that great as well. What do we want for H? At that point, I think I'm going to take Halo of Flies. I know that might seem crazy, but the problem with Ipac is that we're not going to be able to hit enemies close to us, so this Halo of Flies might protect us a little bit. So, kind of an unexpected turn of events with respect to the... pardon me, I just got a little bit of oatmeal crisp stuck in my throat, but a little bit of an unusual choice of items, I would say. But we found our boss room for the Depths Part 1 right away, so this is going to be a quick floor. I don't know what exists in the J's beyond Jesus Juice, but, you know, if that allows us to get some extra damage, then that is awesome. We'll definitely take 2 keys here. On the chest, I don't think we'll be able to pick up items, but... you know, we will be able to pick up 1 item upon beating the cathedral regardless, so that's okay. Now, again, Tinted Rocks would be awesome, because we now have unlimited bombs, essentially, via Ipac. I'm not sure... You know, it's going to be interesting when we get down to the M's, which I think we will. I'm not going to do the math right now for how many floors are remaining in the game, but I think my gut reaction is that we will get down to those M's. And I don't know what I'm going to pick up there, but we'll see. So that was a very, very quick floor. Again, a slivered almond just making its way through my larynx right now. So we're in, we just got Ipac. So, oh, I guess we're taking Jesus Juice. We're taking Jesus Juice Kamikaze as our next 2 items. So that's another reason I'm glad, did I already hit the, add item? Yes. It's another reason I'm glad that I didn't take Guppy's Paw, because we would have had to get rid of it for Kamikaze regardless. It was kind of an accident, but, I'm glad that I didn't take it regardless. So, now we are looking to fight Mom on this floor. Necropolis, always annoying. But the ability to fly plus Ipac means, you know, we're basically at 0 risk when it comes to taking damage on rooms that have any sort of chasm involved. Which is good. I would really like the map and the compass, but unless we come across a particularly benevolent judgment, it's extraordinarily unlikely that we will run into those. I'm getting myself in between a rock and a hard place here, and taking a lot of damage doing it, sadly. Just kind of hang back. I could just blow my way out of these rooms as well, which might be a smart idea. I could, like, come through this room, fight these dudes, and then leave, or sorry, then come back to that room that we were just in, and things will be better. What could be greater than golf with a gator? Just hang out for a second. The more enemies we take out, the better. These rooms are a pain in the ass because we have quick enemies that spawn that are also difficult to kill with Ipac. That's okay, though. because it's going pretty well so far. I'm getting a lot better via these challenge runs at using like Halo of Flies and Cube of Meat offensively. That's one thing I've noticed. I'm not going to say oh, the golden poop disappeared. I'm not going to say I've gotten a lot better, like I've gotten pro with the Binding of Isaac due to these challenge runs, but I have gotten a lot better at using some of the kind of more intricate items over the course of the game. I am a terrible shot here. We could use a little bit of a range upgrade, to be honest with you, but for now, let's just continue moving on. Again, health is going to be a necessity, but the next item we take is Kamikaze, so we just got to kind of deal with it for now. We're probably not going to get to raw liver, so I might want to invest in something at some point that's going to allow us to get more spirit hearts. But all of the spirit heart like items, whether passive or active, I believe start with the. And unless we get down to the T's, that's not really going to work out all that well for us, I think. So let's just back the F up in this room, because that was incredibly scary. Oh, that was the worst way to take damage. I shot Ipac accidentally at a rock right in front of me. That's okay, though. These guys will all die in one hit. That's the worst part of Ipac is, you know, thinking that you can shoot over something and then realizing, oh, no, wait. It actually just blows up right in my face. Justice, good card, we'll pop that right away. Always have a chance to use that red heart later, if necessary. We should be totally okay for avoiding the turret here. I can't believe I didn't get the final kill on that single dude, but that's okay. Another bomb might come in handy if we end up switching to Mom's Heart at some point, but in the meantime, shall we move onwards? That was almost me hitting myself. And I think a lot of these runs that have ended up in this kind of corridor for letters, you know, like H-I-J-K, L-M-N-O-P, has gone in this exact same path. I'm pretty sure I reliably take Ipac when I get to I, which you can't really blame me for, because the fact that it is kind of in a place where there's no other good damage upgrades surrounding it makes it a very attractive option, especially if you already do have the ability to fly. Now, the other, I think Fate is almost objectively the best F item. The only exception would be if Forget Me Now would allow me to get to the M's where I could pick up Mom's Knife. Then I probably long-term should have taken the Forget Me Now, but I wasn't that interested in doing that second floor over again for seemingly little to no reason. Now, let's just continue dodging here, and we should be alright. If I just drop another fat Ipac bomb. We've got to be getting close to the boss. Okay, but we know where the boss is then. A bunch of people are probably going to be pissed off that I'm not going to the secret room. Well, you know, that's potentially valid, actually. If I ended up picking up something like Epic Fetus, that would be awesome. But it would also imbalance it a little bit. As we saw in that Fortune Teller run, Epic Fetus is really all you need to succeed. So that would be a little bit disappointing, I think, if I ended up picking that up and just winning the run on my own merits, basically. Well, not even my own merits. On the merits of the game, essentially. Let us shoot this guy, and then we will enter the final boss room for the opening section of the game, where we're going to be fighting Mom. Ipac versus Mom, tricky boss fight, especially Red Mom, which is going to have, you know, feet coming out all the time. Sorry, I'm trying to focus on the commentary as well as the shooting here. It's actually not going to be as difficult as I thought it would be. All we need to do is probably shoot once every other foot. That was bad dodging on my part. But yeah, if we just focus on shooting once every other foot, even, you know, occasionally we might be able to get once every foot if our timing is absolutely perfect. Again, bad dodging. We will pick up the Polaroid here. That should go without saying. If we hit the foot, I think it explodes on contact, which speeds it up a little bit, yeah. So as long as we just dodge side to side and kind of aim exactly at the apex, that was easy enough. We're back to full health. We have to take Kamikaze, which pisses me off. What's in the L's, though? Is there anything good in the L's? Oh, man, it's disappointing. I guess I'll probably want to take Lunch in the L's, or maybe even Little Chad, as much as I hate to say it. Taking Little Chad once we get down to the L's might be the most valuable for us, just to try to keep us alive for a little bit as we make our way downwards. I did take the Polaroid, so that's not an issue. There we go with Kamikaze. I'm obviously not going to use that. It's going to be very interesting to see if I can survive through the next few floors. Would Lunch and Ipac give me enough damage in order to beat the hard enemies? By the way, that fucking Champion Diggle just took a huge shit on my chest. I don't know, I just thought that would be a funny turn of phrase there. Maybe I was wrong. It just took a huge Ipac shot and lived, which blew my mind. But in any case, let us check out what we've got in here. We got pills and pills. Alright, let's check those out. Pill 1 was a Tears upgrade. That's fine. Please don't be health down. Speed up. Those are both actually pretty big upgrades at this point in the game. Now, I should 100% be shooting every single rock that we come across. because the benefits of getting a tinted rock absolutely substantially outweigh the kind of tedium of going through this process. What I was trying to get at earlier is I'm like, if we end up taking Mom's knife, will that give us enough damage to kind of reliably take out Blue Baby and Isaac? And the answer is, I don't know. I think it depends. Yeah, I'll use 2 of spades right away. It depends on whether or not... This is a tough one. Wow, we did get a tinted rock in there, but it ended up not really doing all that much for us. It depends on whether or not it still has the poison effect. To a certain extent, it depends on that anyway. Not to a major extent, but I don't know. I've been in this situation before, but I've never gotten a definitive answer, I feel. What a shitty tinted rock to only get a golden chest that didn't contain anything of extreme value. More money, and again, this would be incredibly useful if at some point in the goddamn game we could ever come across Judgment. Sadly, that appears to not be in the cards for us, but it's okay. Again, we're kind of speeding through these floors, but our long-term chances with only 3 hearts seem pretty darn low. Okay, that was bad dodging on my part for sure. That was worse, and we are now on the fringe of death. I really would feel pretty shitty about dying on this room. Oh my god, how did that happen? I just got the sun card. Oh man. To lose 3... What did I say earlier in this run? I was like, my fatal flaw is always that I never take health upgrades. Or my fatal flaw is that I never take health upgrades. But in any case, again, thank you to, not Hax Glitches some more. That was Opera and Kitten, I think. I've totally forgotten the name now. I just spaced out in the worst way possible. God damn it, I gotta do this run again on, like, a Monday. Mom's knife, eventually getting the nail. In any case, I tried! Thanks a lot, Good Friday. In any case, thank you guys for watching. Continue suggesting your own challenge runs. I will do the ones I deem most entertaining or appropriate. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.